there, this is Delta, and welcome to its Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Friday, June 28, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Friday Night SmackDown, but I'm not alone. Joining me for this review is fellow WrestleManiac, Josh.
Hey everybody, hey WrestleManiacs out there, as well as Rangers of Wrestling. Yes, that crazy bastard with the blonde hair is back. Now he's changed his look again. Good Lord, I only can look at myself at the camera and say, what am I doing? So, midlife crisis continues, guys. So stick around. That's half the fun.
You're going to be Joshua going forward.
Oh,
so
you know
just
what?
Josh.
I didn't think about that with the goatee Joshua. Yes. Let's go with that. That's a new gimmick. That sounds great.
All right, so let's kick things off talking about the Bloodline Acknowledgement ceremony. As we all know, last week, Jacob Fatu made his debut, and tonight they were going to put him in the ceremony. So people are, Io says New York was late. Yes, it was. So with this ceremony, people were chanting, "We want Roman. We want Roman." And Solo finally introduced Jacob Fatu as his enforcer. As we all know, Solo Sikoa was the original enforcer of the Bloodline. Now that role has gone to Jacob Fatu. Here's the one thing I thought was interesting. Solo Sikoa telling everybody to acknowledge him. He tells the crowd, acknowledge me, which is something Roman Reigns used to do.
Oh, I mean, the star of the show tonight was Paul Heyman. Just the visual, hand over the mouth, the sacrilege that Solo did, daring to say what the tribal chief would say. I mean, that is a coup in all its own right. So, it was amazing tonight. Again, and the fact that Paul Heyman sold it so well.
Io says, we want Roman. Yeah, now you do. LOL. We definitely want Roman at Money in the Bank. I don't know if Roman will come back at Money in the Bank. I say you save that for SummerSlam.
Yep.
But, because I feel like Jimmy needs to come back first.
Yep.
But that's just me. So with this, Tama Tonga acknowledges Solo Sikoa. Tonga Loa acknowledges Solo Sikoa. And then Jacob Fatu acknowledges Solo Sikoa. Now, I really like the fact that Solo asked Paul Heyman, and you could tell, Paul Heyman did a really good job at selling this. He looks terrible. I mean, his eyes are bloodshot red. He had a 5 o'clock shadow. I mean, he was not happy about this at all.
He was the Snapchat filter. If you play with Snapchat with like I do with my son, they have a crying filter. The man literally is the damn Snapchat crying filter. It was a masterful way in showing emotion.
Io says, I didn't like Solo doing the acknowledge me stuff. He needs to do his own stuff. I do agree, but I feel like him doing the acknowledge him kind of stuff is kind of like giving motivation for Roman to come back and kick his ass.
Yeah. Again, go ahead.
He's stealing Roman's shtick.
When's the last time Paul Heyman went to sleep? Yeah, I mean, definitely.
I don't know, but it looks like he hasn't slept in a while.
Mm-mm.
So with this, Paul Heyman refuses to acknowledge Solo Sikoa, and he doesn't give him the coral necklace. He does not acknowledge Solo Sikoa as his tribal chief. And because he doesn't acknowledge Solo Sikoa as a tribal chief, he gets hit with the Samoan spike, and then he gets triple powerbomb on the announce table by the rest of the Bloodline.
Oh,
go ahead. Sorry.
Don't forget the splash either by Jacob Fatu. That half-length ring splash that he got as well. I was shocked.
Yeah, poor Paul Heyman. He did such a good. Oh, my bad. He did such a good job at selling this, And then the Bloodline stood tall at the end. So what a crazy way to end Friday Night SmackDown. I was not expecting that.
I'll tell you what, another star, and again, we talked a couple weeks ago about Jacob Fatu coming in and overshadowing Solo, and I think he is. I think he is indeed. Just if you go back and watch the visuals of Jacob Fatu in the background, literally, I always said that Solo felt like he was trying to be Umaga with a little bit more class, whereas Jacob Fatu, my God. I wasn't caring about Solo. I wasn't caring about Tama or Tonga. It was all about Jacob Fatu in the background with that crazy, wild Samoan look. And here's the cool part I thought. We had the tribute to, I believe it was Sika. I think that passed, right? Sika. I mean, we saw again their crazy eyes and stuff, and Jacob fought too. Perfect embodiment of that. So I thought that was a really cool way to show that, even if they didn't mean to, it really shows that that is the true wild component of the group.
Yeah, this is great stuff. This is a great segment. But now, Paul Heyman, got taken out on the ambulance. They showed off air what happened. And I feel like this is all setting things into motion for Jimmy and Jade to reunite and for Roman to come back.
Yes. And again, that's going to work. And again, I'm curious to see if they're going to use, I can't ever say his name is Hikuleo. So you got it, Hikuleo. Or if we're going to have our honorary Uso, Sami Zayn, because he was part of that, group. So you never can tell if we're going to get a 5-on-5 or something like that.
It says, I always thought when Solo came to WWE, he was playing the role of Jacob. I kind of felt that too. Felt like Sikoa was doing the role of Jacob fought too. After all these years, Roman deserves this earthquake pop coming. I do agree. WWE is finally going to get that massive babyface pop that they so wanted for Roman Reigns for so many years. They're finally going to get it.
Somewhere Voldemort, we can't say his name, of course, is, doing the South Park meme. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about once he gets that earthquake pop. So yeah, for sure.
But this is a really great segment. I really dug this.
Same. Masterful class in how you book an angle.
But SmackDown kicked off with the brawl, which is a good way to kick off the show because it's not your typical opening promo, sets up a match, sets up the main event, this, that, and the third. It was a brawl out there. I mean, the Bloodline, one of the things I like is that the Bloodline arrived and basically Sikoa lied to Paul Heyman about Jacob fought too.
Yep.
And as they were coming out, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton, they all got into a brawl. Kevin Owens with that swanton onto the table to Tangaloa. And the security came out and stopped this brawl. I mean, this is a really great way to kick off Friday Night SmackDown. And again, the crowd chanted, "We want Roman."
Well, what's even better is when the babyfaces had the promo time as security was taken out by the babyfaces, which was crazy enough. You have a little bitty thread, a little bit of a breadcrumb with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton when he mentions the championship. I should be challenging. I should be defending this championship. All of a sudden, you see Randy Orton just kind of turn just slightly when he mentions the championship. His ears perk up. So, I'm loving the little masterful little pieces of storytelling we're getting here that what's going to happen.
I also SmackDown has been fun since Cody became champ. Yes, it has. So, with that segment that you're talking about, Madison Square Garden is where the story all began. So I don't know if you saw the clip after SmackDown and in that SmackDown exclusive.
I didn't
Cody
see that.
Rhodes. No, yeah, Cody Rhodes. He held the title that was taken from his dad. He held it up.
Oh wow!
Very emotional.
I'll have to see that then.
Yeah, you need to see it. I'll show it to you afterwards.
You can finally finish the story. Finally. We can move on.
One of the things that I also like about this is that he put over Kevin Owens, he put over Randy Orton, and he put out the sold out Madison Square Garden. And not only that, I like the fact that he called Solo Sikoa a seat filler.
I was expecting him to say the B word versus a seat filler, but Cody Rhodes PG, right? But hey, it's all right with me. It works.
Yeah, but this is a really great way. These segments back to back were incredible.
The camera work. I love the camera work. It is all one camera shot of them walking out, turns the camera, boom, here they come. And the brawl was great. Again, that was a hot way to start off SmackDown because, again, as you said, it's always the opening segment. Somebody's talking, the Bloodline's talking, somebody comes out. Nope, it's like, you know what? We're going to fight, and this is how it's going to be. So this was, I don't want to say Attitude Era level brawling, but it damn sure was a nice way to see this again, for sure.
And then, Cody, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton are escorted out of the building. I thought they were going to come back, but they didn't. Nobody came out to help the wise man in that ending segment, so.
I think that's why, because I knew something screwy was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I'm like, oh, the babyfaces hadn't shown up yet. That's a little weird.
So we get the Money in the Bank qualifiers, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton versus Candice LeRae. Now, Candice and Tiffany were working together to try to take down Jade Cargill for this. Nia Jax and Indi Hartwell made their presence known here, and Tiffany Stratton won after she pinned Candice with the prettiest moonsault. So it's no surprise there. I think Tiffany Stratton, my 2 picks are Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green to win. What are your picks?
Well, don't forget that Bianca came out as well to defend her friend Jade. You know, looking at the field, I've got to say it's got to be Tiffany. I think they've, you know, kind of punished her for that whole clip thing, and kind of this is going to be her way to get her back in contention. Is the idea she can always cash in anytime. And hey, who knows? I mean, maybe we'll get the. I don't want to say it to the universe, but maybe Nia Jax wins, and you know, Tiffany wins Money in the Bank. So could just be kind of a screw job coming with that. You never know.
I mean, didn't Tiffany say she was going to be princess and Nia Jax the queen?
Mm-hmm. Yep. She sure did.
We'll see where their alliance leads. But so far, I mean, Nia Jax really didn't help Tiffany during this match, though.
She didn't, but I mean, just having her as a presence out there helped because, I mean, if you think about it, she distracted the referee with Bianca. Because Bianca decided to come out and distract the ref, and that allowed Jade Cargill to be pushed into the outside turnbuckle and knocked into it, which then allowed Tiffany Stratton to win the match. So she did help in a way just being out there as an agitator.
We get a Naomi segment, and basically this was Blair Davenport telling Bayley that her days were numbered as champion. So this segment really didn't go anywhere. It's just supposed to set up more of Blair, possibly a future match between Blair Davenport and Bayley.
Yeah, and again, I like Blair. I don't think Blair got to shine as much as she did in NXT as I thought. So I was definitely happy to see Blair kind of get the shot here, at least in a promo. So definitely interesting to say the least.
So next we get multiple backstage segments with Nick Aldis. Michin's asking for a match with Nia Jax. The Street Profits and B-Fab want to get their hands on the Bloodline, but guess who makes her return?
Pretty Deadly, yes, boy.
The Yes Boys are back. And they're pitching musicals to Nick Aldis, which is so hilarious because like the guy who created, what did I say, Hamlet? The Hamlet musical?
Hamilton. Yeah, was there.
He was there.
And we're near Broadway, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I would watch a Pretty Deadly musical. I think they're hilarious. I know most people don't like them, but I like them.
I like them. Their shirts drive me nuts, but that's because I don't like things touching my underarms like that. So their little mini shirts drive me crazy. I hate watching it, but I do love their characters. They are great characters.
But why male models?
Yeah, that's true. That is kind of a mixture of that, isn't it?
That reference just flew over your head.
No, Zoolander. I know. I just explained that to you. Yeah, the hand model. I get it. I've seen that movie 100 times over. Trust me. I know Zoolander.
Oh, okay. I'm glad.
There ain't no getting past me on that one. I didn't love the second one, but no.
I didn't even watch the second one. We don't talk about the Zoolander too.
Makes sense. I agree.
All right. So next we get a recap of LA Night. Yeah. Logan Paul and Santos video, which was a really well done video. As we know, WWE's production quality is amazing. So Io says, I like Pretty Deadly. The music is obsessive, right? Thank you for liking Pretty Deadly. I like Pretty Deadly too.
I don't, their music is okay, but I kind of like the original NXT music, but that's just me.
Well, I wasn't watching their run on NXT, so I haven't heard their NXT thing.
That's good.
We get Solo Sikoa segment, and he's basically like telling Paul Heyman that like Jacob isn't there and that he's gonna serve him as a wise man.
Yeah, I mean it's literally calling him in for a meeting, let's just say. Kind of setting up with something, because again, why is Paul Heyman now having to become the official wise man? Makes you wonder about that too.
Yeah, and he says that what's the point of having a wise man if you won't take his advice? So,
yep, that's true. A good setup for the ending segment for sure.
Definitely, I like that. I really like all the interactions with Paul Heyman and the Bloodline tonight.
For sure.
We get a Logan Paul promo, and this took me back to Sami Zayn's promo. And I'll tell you why. Because he basically said that he bought someone in his corner who knows how to win at Madison Square Garden, which was similar to what Sami Zayn did, I think, back in 2022, I think, where he came out in the Knicks jersey and he bought Trae Young to Madison Square Garden. Logan Paul bought Tyrese Halpern of the Indiana Pacers, who I really didn't know because I don't watch basketball, so I had to Google it. But I thought this was a really cool shot, especially because Jalen was there from the New York Knicks.
Yep. Yeah. It was good enough for a local crowd. Again, I didn't know anything about sports. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I mean, at the end, well, we'll get to the end, but I was kind of wondering if they were trying to do a Dennis Rodman type of Karl Malone thing with WCW. Well, we'll get there. Keep on going.
We'll get there. But overall, like I actually really like this match. I'm not complaining, but I was a little surprised that LA Knight, won. I'm happy that he won, but I'm confused because I thought the whole point of him was to set up a feud between him and Logan Paul. So I kind of was thinking maybe Santos Escobar was going to win this. But I like the fact that he won by pinning a Logan Paul.
I think what's going to happen, I think to add more to the story, is LA Knight's just going to be there, just going to be able to get the title, the Money in the Bank, and bam, here comes a knockout Logan Paul costing him the Money in the Bank. And then we get to, I can't win the world title. I'm going to take your title, Logan Paul. So I think we're going to see something screwy at Money in the Bank and screwing over LA Knight in that match.
So 2 people are going to get screwed in the Money in the Bank, assuming Drew McIntyre wins his qualifying match on Raw?
Why not? Why not? Well, but then again, I don't know. I still think that, Drew McIntyre, I think, has a shot now because, again, it would make sense. And the idea that, he could always be in the wings and win the world title. So I don't know. You never know. They're doing cross threads because remember, Raw is Raw and SmackDown is SmackDown, right? They're not supposed to really interact storyline wise. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
You brought it up yourself. You need to go back and watch our Raw review. You said that CM Punk was going to screw Drew McIntyre.
I agree. I agree, but again, now that I watched what happened here, I really did think Santos Escobar was going to win. But now that LA Knight wins, it tells me, oh, something's going to happen. LA Knight, yeah.
And Logan Paul named that one side. That's true. He is not. He's going to be pissed. So I really like the interaction between Tyrese Halpern and Jalen Bronson. That stare down that they had, that was freaking epic. Now on Raw, actually Tyrese Halpern was on Raw, and he was actually FaceTiming Logan Paul. This shot was also epic too. Like this one with the steel chair and the brass knuckles. Like, oh, it was fun. That was a fun spot.
I think it's the idea of, not necessarily Hogan-esque and, DDP-esque, but it was very much a throwback to the WCW Hogan and Rodman versus Malone and DDP, which were huge basketball stars back in the day. Or the Chicago Bulls, I believe, actually, in the, oh gosh, I'm going to get my ass kicked for this one. I can't remember what age. Showing my age. Yeah, I can't remember who Karl Malone played for now. I want to say it's the Jazz, maybe. I don't remember. But either way, it was definitely a big feud back in the day.
Yeah, I kind of remember hearing about that. He played for the Utah Jazz.
Okay, I thought so. It was the Jazz. Yep.
He played for Utah Jazz. So, yeah, I kind of thought maybe we were going to get an impromptu tag match here.
That's what I was thinking. Something like a Money in the Bank, maybe, but who knows? We'll see.
That was crazy.
Yes, it was.
So, I don't know why we got a random segment with Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews backstage. But the whole point of this is that Melo says he's going to have a shirt made when he wins Money in the Bank called Melo in the Bank. So, I don't know what the whole point of this segment was. I wasn't a huge fan of this.
This is probably going to get me a lot of heat for saying this, but I'm just going to say it. I always call Lil Melo, I call Carmelo Lil Melo because, they always have him with taller people than he does. He reminds me of like that damn cartoon character Lil Bill on Nickelodeon, just because he just run around just saying crazy shit, just because why not? I don't really, I understand what they're trying to do, but he's not the entity that he was in NXT. So for Melo to say, I'm going to win the Money in the Bank, like these guys aren't even in the Money in the Bank. So why tell them? What's the point? Are we going to get Baron Corbin versus Little Carmelo? Or are we going to get Apollo versus Carmelo? I really didn't understand it either. To me, it's kind of like Caillou, chaos across the board, because why not?
I also said the only Melo and MSG to win championships, that got me. I don't get what's that a reference to.
I don't either. I don't know. I'm not from MSG or New York. I don't get it.
So, but I will say I did like the fact that Apollo Crews was like, Didn't you win Money in the Bank?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, to Baron Corbin. Yeah, the one that failed through. Poor Baron Corbin. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, again, Carmelo just, for me, the number one draft pick, he ain't really doing much. So tell me about that. Unless they're waiting for the fall or something, he is not connecting like they're wanting him to, I don't think.
Yeah. I feel like he's just kind of there.
Exactly. He's just a little mellow, just a little Bill running around the neighborhood, just getting into trouble for no reason at all. So
next we get a Sika tribute video, which I thought was really nice. Sika, Roman Reigns' father, passed away a couple days ago. So
that's tough.
Yeah, I thought this was a nice little tribute. Oh, okay, Io. NBA player Carmelo Anthony, who played for the NY Knicks and MSG. Oh, okay, yeah. See, I didn't know that. I don't know. I'm not a basketball person.
Cool.
We get another MITB qualifier. It's Naomi versus Indi Hartwell versus Blair Davenport. I have to say, I was surprised that Naomi actually won this. I was not expecting her to win. I thought maybe Blair Davenport was going to win because I ranted on my show plenty of times since Naomi came back that I have not been a fan of her booking. They separated her from Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for no explanation was given. And she really hasn't done much. Yeah, she had a match at WrestleMania. Yeah, she's won a few matches here and there, but she's just kind of been there. So I was really surprised she got the win right here. I kind of thought that they were going to give it to Blair Davenport, but I'm happy Naomi's in there. I expect her to win. I don't expect her to win at all.
Well, because I think Blair Davenport is going to be sacrificed to Bayley at this point, just because, Piper's gone. Chelsea's in the Money in the Bank. So Blair Davenport, again, they kind of telegraphed that before, that Blair is going to be the one to face at Money in the Bank. Not going to win, but again, you're not going to see Bayley versus Naomi at Money in the Bank. You're going to get a heel versus to go against Bayley. That's the idea. Now, granted, that's going to be quick because Money in the Bank is a week from tomorrow. So, I mean, unless they just all of a sudden just play into it, that's what I thought. That's why Naomi won.
You can have Money in the Bank ladder match on Naomi. She's been in most of these. That is true, but I was still surprised because, like I said, she hasn't done much.
Where Trinity go is my question.
I've ranted a lot about that in the past. I've made peace. I've made peace with it, so I'm okay. We get a DIY interview, and they're trying to get Austin Theory to kind of open his eyes, and that Grayson Waller is just using him to keep the titles. It seems like they're going to split up A-Town Down Under. So I do think that they are challenging for the titles next week, but I do think that A-Town Down Under is going to get split up.
I'm surprised that they're giving Austin Theory the babyface push here, because really, truly, I still think Grayson Waller, even though he's a great heel, I really think he's got more popularity because, again, I think merchandising of the shoes and drinking out of the shoes and all that crazy stuff, and Grayson Waller, crazy T-shirts and colors. So unless they swerve me, which, again, I wouldn't be upset at the fact, but I think Grayson Waller, I don't know. I think they're doing the wrong thing. I think Austin Theory needs to be the heel in this, and it should be Grayson Waller being the babyface here.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see them. I could see why you would say that. But Io says Grayson's meant to be heel. Yeah, he has that. You just want to
I don't disagree. He's a great heel. It's not that. I just think if I was comparing, could I cheer for Austin Theory? Maybe, but I'd rather punch Austin Theory in the face than Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller seems like he's just around having fun, where Austin Theory's just a prick. So
that annoying Aussie accent.
Or Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Aussie. Oi, oi. Yeah, so that's definitely going to be interesting. So we're going to stop there because we already talked about the Bloodline Acknowledgement ceremony, which we talked about at the beginning. So on a scale from a 1 to Sean Spears' perfect 10, what would you rank tonight's show?
This was an 8. I mean, again, some of the matches weren't great. I can't tell you that there was a match that really blew me away, but really between the opening and the ending segment, it's like a compliment sandwich. You get a compliment, then you get some stuff in between, and then you get a great compliment at the end. So really, from bookend to bookend, this is a pretty good SmackDown. Again, it's going to be a memorable one. I think about top 50 moments of the modern era, and I think Paul Heyman being kicked out of the de facto bloodline, that's a big moment. Because again, I was thinking and talking to my wife about Paul Heyman, and because again, she has no context of the past really, and I'm like, besides an F5 or being knocked down, I can't really recall, except for maybe a match with Jim Cornette way back in the late 80s, where he took this much of a beating. Usually an F5 from Brock Lesnar, but think about it. When's the last time you've seen Paul Heyman get his ass kicked this bad?
Nope, can't recall.
So I thought that was very, very important to say the fact, and it was at MSG in the ECW territory. So, and the fact that the broadcast ended, I know we talked about it, but FU Solo, masterful way. So that's what makes it an 8 for me, because the crowd bought into it hook, line, and sinker.
I also give this an 8 out of 10. I really like the opening, both opening segments, the bra. Hi, JJ. The ending, that was all fantastic and stuff. Really liked the what they did with the Logan Paul Santos Escobar LA night. Yeah. When Brock F5 Paul Heyman through the table. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so it was pretty good stuff. I really did. There's, wasn't a 2 week of an episode. So 8 out of 10 for sure.
But again, 3 pieces really make up a big difference. Again, and I think about that of, you have the hamburger and then you have some onions you may not like, but you know what? Damn it, the rest of that stuff is good. And so you know what? That was the sauce, I think, that made up the difference of a basic burger is a good sauce. So
yeah. All right, where can people find you?
You can find me at WrestleM Podcast on Twitter or X, whatever the hell it's called now. And I try to interact there as much as I can, especially now I'm back. I've been busy the last couple of weeks with some family stuff, but I'm back into it, baby. So let's get going towards Money in the Bank. The march towards the Money in the Bank is beginning. So definitely excited. And Forbidden Door this weekend. I review Raw, SmackDown, NXT, as well as any PLEs and pay-per-views. And hey, you know what? Maybe some TNA in the future too. We'll see.
Well, since you brought that up and we were actually talking about this, so we're going to say it live on the air. People have been asking me for a while. I know JJ just popped in the chat, so he's probably listening, to watch and review NXT on a weekly basis. That's still not going to happen. But if you watch TNA this coming week, you have to watch TNA, and I know, and I will know if you do the review because I'm subscribed to A+ Hero Report, and I have the bell notified. If you watch this week's TNA, and then I will watch next week's NXT, and I will do the review.
Sounds good.
Okay? Especially because next week, is next week the go home show to Heatwave, or is that the following? Am I Fallout?
I think it is. If I'm right, let me make sure real quick again.
No. It would be the Fallout from Heatwave.
Oh, so damn. Okay, so it is Sunday. Jeez. Yeah. All right, well.
So I'm a woman of my word. So if you watch TNA and you review it, even if it's at the same time as my review, TNA, on Body Slam, I will watch and review the Fallout for Heatwave.
You know what I love is your fans are just kind of like the Israelites in the desert, right? In the Bible, there's a story about, they were hungry in the desert and God gave them manna and bread, all of the bread they could have pretty much. Still complain, saying they want more. And you know what? The fans love you so much, they just want more and more and more quality. So
to answer your question, I'm not watching the Go Home show to Heatwave, but I will watch the Fallout from Heatwave if Josh watches and
reviews TNA. Yes.
And reviews TNA.
That's right. Oh, I'm going to love it because I love going in blind. It's like AEW. I have no idea what the hell's going on. So I get to watch and figure it out.
All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I will see you guys on Sunday for Forbidden Door. So take care, you guys. Bye.
See you later.